Listen. Can you hear it? Not with your ears, but with your mind. Imagine the entire universe as a single, unending song. This is not music made of air and vibration. It is a fundamental wave that fills every corner of existence. The silent, deep ocean of space is not empty. It is a medium, humming with a potential that gives rise to everything we see and know. This idea is bold. It asks us to reconsider the very nature of reality. It invites us to stop looking at the world as a collection of tiny, separate things. Instead, it asks us to begin to hear the cosmos. This cosmic song is the source of all form, stars, planets, galaxies, and the light that travels between them. Even you and I are part of this music. Our current understanding of the universe is a monumental achievement. We use the standard model of particle physics to describe the fundamental particles, the forces that govern them. This model works incredibly well. We use Einstein's theory of general relativity to explain gravity as the curvature of spacetime. This theory has been confirmed with breathtaking accuracy. We use neuroscience and biochemistry to explain the intricate processes of life and consciousness. Yet, despite these successes, deep and persistent puzzles remain unsolved. There are gaps in our knowledge suggesting a more fundamental picture waiting to be discovered. One of the greatest challenges is the disconnect between our two best theories of reality. These two theories speak different languages. They do not fit together. When we try to describe gravity on a quantum scale, such as inside a black hole, the mathematics breaks down. This tells us our picture is incomplete. We are missing a crucial piece to unite large and small. Why do particles have the masses they do? What are dark matter and dark energy, detectable only via gravitational effects? We do not know. Perhaps the most profound puzzle is the emergence of consciousness. Our current models offer no clear path to how mind arises from matter. These gaps are not small details. They are fundamental questions about existence. To bridge these gaps, we need a new idea. An idea that is simple, yet powerful enough to unify science. The frequency wave theory offers such a picture. It says the universe isn't empty space dotted with particles. Instead, it's a single unified entity, a quantum acoustic superfluid. Imagine a vast, silent ocean filling all space. This ocean, this fundamental field, is the only thing that truly exists. Everything else, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, are patterns of waves moving through this medium. The theory is not about objects, but about vibrations. Matter isn't a tiny solid ball. Matter is a highly organized, stable pattern of waves, specifically a standing wave vortex. A standing wave is a vibration that does not travel. It holds its shape. A vortex is a spinning, swirling pattern, like a tiny whirlpool. Combine them and you get a self-sustaining, localized disturbance in the cosmic ocean. This spinning, stable wave pattern appears to us as a particle. It has properties like mass, charge, which describe the wave's structure and interaction with the surrounding field. Gravity fits naturally here. Not a mysterious force nor bending spacetime, but an effect of field density and pressure gradients drawing patterns inward. The ideas of a cosmic superfluid and standing wave vortices can seem abstract. Think of a perfectly still pond on a windless day. The water represents the fundamental wave field, the quantum acoustic superfluid. Imagine gently tapping the surface. Ripples spread outward in perfect circles. These traveling waves are like light and other forms of energy. Now imagine creating a small, self-sustaining whirlpool. This vortex has a definite location and a stable structure. It spins and holds its shape. Create another vortex nearby. They interact. They might attract or they might repel, not because of magic, but because of how they disturb the water. They move through the pond as distinct entities. To a tiny observer on the surface, these vortices look and behave like solid particles. This is the core analogy for matter arising from a pure wave medium. A direct visual is cymatics. Cymatics shows how sound makes visible patterns. The pattern is a direct expression of the frequency. Change the tone, and the pattern shifts. Finally, visualize gravity. A large, stable vortex pulls water inward, creating a gentle, persistent inward flow. A tiny speck or weaker vortex will be carried along and drifts toward the larger vortex. This inward flow is the analogy for gravity, a property of the medium, a pressure gradient from a dense, stable wave pattern. Planets orbit the sun for the same reason. They are caught in the inward flow toward the sun's density. Section 5. The mathematics of a wave. Frequency momentum. A scientific theory needs more than just compelling analogies. It needs a mathematical foundation that can make testable predictions. The frequency wave theory introduces a new, fundamental quantity to our physics. We call this quantity frequency momentum, or FM. Just as linear momentum describes the quantity of motion for a moving object, frequency momentum describes the quantity of waveness for a wave pattern. The theory proposes that frequency momentum, like energy and linear momentum, is a conserved quantity. In any closed system, the total amount of FM remains constant. The core formula for frequency momentum is beautifully simple. The formula is Fm equals 1/2 r rho omega a squared. Rho, the density of the wave field itself. Omega, the angular frequency, how rapidly the wave oscillates. A, amplitude, the wave's height or intensity. A denser field can carry more frequency momentum. A faster vibration carries more frequency momentum. Doubling amplitude quadruples Fm. This is the part that describes the wave's intensity or power. Frequency momentum is a unified measure of a wave's density, frequency, and strength. Fm equals 1/2 rho omega a squared. Section 6. The heart of the theory. Matter and energy as wave patterns. With the concept of frequency momentum, we can now build a more precise picture of matter and energy. This wave-based view offers a powerful and intuitive explanation for phenomena that are often confusing in particle-based physics. It dissolves the hard line between matter and energy, showing them to be two sides of the same coin, different configurations of wave activity in the fundamental field. This perspective helps us understand the famous equation E equals mc squared in a new light. It is not just a formula for converting mass to energy, it is a statement about the energy contained within a stable wave pattern. In the frequency wave theory, what we call matter is simply a localized and highly stable concentration of frequency momentum. A more massive particle, like a proton, is a wave pattern with a very large amount of locked-up FM. A less massive particle, like an electron, is a pattern with less FM. What we call energy, on the other hand, is frequency momentum in a mobile, unlocalized form. A traveling wave, like a photon of light, is a ripple of FM moving through the field. When a particle is annihilated, their standing wave patterns collapse. The frequency momentum that was locked inside them is released and radiates outward as traveling waves of energy. Conversely, powerful waves of energy can interact and fold in on themselves to form new, stable vortices, creating matter. A stable particle is like a perfectly formed crystal of frozen music. Strike it hard enough and it shatters. The frozen music melts and flows away as liquid energy. A theory, no matter how elegant, is only as good as its ability to be tested. The frequency wave theory makes specific, measurable predictions. We can design experiments to see if it holds up to scrutiny. The beauty is that many of these tests do not require giant particle accelerators or billion-dollar space telescopes. Scientists, students, and even curious individuals can begin to test these ideas right now, using the tools of acoustics, fluid dynamics, electronics. Set up a precisely controlled cymatics laboratory, a water tank, a vibrating plate. Drive the medium with carefully chosen frequencies and amplitudes and attempt to create stable, three-dimensional standing wave vortices. The theory predicts that certain combinations of RHO, omega, A will be far more likely to produce stable, long-lasting patterns. Measure the properties of these vortex particles. See if they interact in predictable ways. Try to measure a quantity analogous to FM and check if it is conserved in collisions. Create a resonant cavity filled with a fluid or a plasma. Use powerful acoustic or electromagnetic waves to establish a region of very high wave energy density, a higher effective RHO. It should create a gradient causing an inward flow. Tracers should drift toward the region. Measure this motion and compare it to a gravity-like force predicted from field density gradients. In biology, measure bioelectric and biomagnetic fields. Expose tissues to sound, light, electromagnetic waves to enhance or disrupt coherence. Changes in coherence should lead to measurable changes in function. Each test checks a core prediction. The results, whether confirming or contradicting, will advance our understanding. The call is for open, reproducible science. Build these experiments, record your data, share your results. If the frequency wave theory proves to be a correct description of reality, its implications would extend far beyond theoretical physics. A new understanding of the universe always leads to new technologies. Just as electromagnetism gave us radio, computers, the internet. One immediate application: new kinds of sensors that read wave patterns directly, measuring frequency momentum, local field density, frequency, amplitude. Use cases: structural monitoring of buildings and bridges, early fatigue warnings, geological surveys to find deposits and sense subterranean shifts. In medicine, health as wave coherence, disease as decoherence or dissonance. Diagnostics could map the body's FM field to spot disharmony before symptoms. Therapies: precise application of sound, light, electromagnetic fields to restore coherent wave patterns. Vibrational medicine grounded in hard physics. Wave-based computation: use stable wave vortices as information bits, routed by shaping the underlying field, letting interference find solutions, much like our brains. AI architectures that treat consciousness as coherence. In cosmology, dark matter as standing wave patterns that do not interact with light. Dark energy as intrinsic tension of a superfluid medium. Study the universe as an acoustic system to understand the origin of mass, the nature of gravity, the ultimate fate of the cosmos. The applications are as limitless as the music of the universe itself. The frequency wave theory does more than offer a new model for physics. It offers a new way to view ourselves. It places humanity, life, consciousness back into the fabric of the cosmos. In a universe of particles and empty space, life can seem like a strange and improbable accident. The mind can feel like an isolated ghost in a machine. But in a universe made of waves, life is a natural expression of the cosmos's tendency to create complex, resonant patterns. Consciousness is not an anomaly. It is the universe becoming aware of itself through a sufficiently coherent melody. Think of the emergence of life, not random shuffling, but resonance. Structures better at capturing and storing. Frequency momentum formed stable, coherent patterns. They sustained themselves by drawing energy from their environment and using it to maintain their structure. Metabolism. If every person, every animal, every plant is a unique wave pattern in the same field, then we are not truly separate. We are all temporary ripples on a single, vast ocean. Our interactions, our communication, our empathy could be seen as wave interference and resonance. When we connect, we synchronize our rhythms. Consciousness as large-scale wave coherence offers a tangible path for scientific inquiry, bridging subjective experience and objective measurement. Altered states could be different global harmonies. Cognitive disorders might be breakdowns in coherence. We stand at a fascinating moment in our quest for understanding. We have pushed our existing theories to their limits. We have found the edges of our knowledge. Now we are presented with a new idea. The universe is not a collection of things, but a symphony of vibrations. Reality as a song. Matter is a stable chord. Gravity is the flow of the music. Consciousness is a state of perfect harmony. This is the frequency wave theory. It offers a simple, unified picture that connects the quantum, the cosmic, the conscious. The core of this new music, frequency momentum. FM, Lux Arx 1/2 REO omega A, squared, a mathematical handle. It ties together density, frequency, amplitude. It proposes this quantity is conserved, flowing and transforming from matter to energy and back again, but never lost. This principle gives us a foundation to build a new physics, a new biology, and perhaps a new understanding of ourselves. But an idea is only a starting point. It must be tested, challenged, refined. This is a call to action. We need scientists, physics, acoustics, biology, engineering, to join this exploration. Design and build experiments to test the theory. Let us create stable vortices in water tanks. Let us measure the pull of high-energy fields. Let us map the coherent waves in living systems. Share data openly and honestly, whether it supports the theory or refutes it. This invitation is for everyone. Artists, musicians, students, the curious. The cosmos may be quieter and richer than we thought. Join the search. Test these ideas. Let us listen together.